Hi, I'm Warren Wilson. I'm an inventor. I love inventing and I love children's toys. Today I'm going to share with you how I made my most successful children's toy, BetterBlock, a building block system which bent, shaped, curved and moved, how I made it successful. And when I say successful, I mean we made money from it. Children, parents, teachers got to use it. We got to have fun with it. You could buy it in shops. It was generally available to the general public.
Kiwi-based company is tackling the international big boys of the toy industry and the lucrative building blocks market. BetterBlocks have developed plastic building blocks that they claim are better than their more famous competitors.
BetterBlocks is a great New Zealand success story. One small ad on television advertising BetterBlocks and the response was simply unbelievable. When it became obvious BetterBlocks were going to be a real phenomenon, possible manufacturers were checked out. But at the end of the day, nobody could beat the price put forward by Alfred Holt.
Competition is very fierce in the plastics industry, and we have been fortunate enough to stumble across the formula that we believe really works.
More than $20 million worth of BetterBlocks are expected to be exported.
BetterBlocks are proving so popular that demand is more than the Auckland company can supply.
So I'd like to start by asking you to go to your activities book and you'll find 2 pages of shapes in it. Cut those shapes out and find 3 shapes that you can join together to form a light bulb. So if you pause this video, please do that now. So how did you go? Well, I hope. So you've got a light bulb. People often use a light bulb to represent ideas, like, wow, a light bulb pops in their head and an idea pops in. Well, what I'm saying is that is the process, how it works, but it's only part of the process. Because what a light bulb suggests is that ideas come from inside out, like inside out. What I'm suggesting is ideas and inventions and success actually comes from outside in. So what I'd like to do is share with you how that works and how that works for me. My invention BetterBlocks came about because I overheard 2 salespeople speaking, and they were saying that they really wanted a product to compete with Lego. At the time there was nothing to compete with Lego. I overheard this conversation and I thought, wow, you know, maybe I could do something. I'm an inventor, maybe I could do something about that. And then it was about 6 or 8 weeks later, I was driving my car and all of a sudden the idea popped into my head. Why not build a building block that moves? And it was very cool. I thought, yes, that would get around all Lego's patents and I'd have a brand new building block. Kids would love it. So that was the first 2 steps of inventing. But you notice that the idea came from outside, like it came from the 2 salespeople having a problem. The idea came from outside and I kind of processed it, and then the idea came, why not build a building block that moves? And that actually came from outside too, because what I realized was that a bicycle chain moved. And if I could build a building block that worked like a bicycle chain, how cool would that be? So what I'd like you to do is to pause the video now, go back to the 6 pieces that are left and find 2 that fit together. Any 2, doesn't matter, just put the 2 together. So welcome back. How did you go? Find your 2 pieces that fitted together? Cool. Well, they were the 2 pieces of my puzzle. I had an idea, I knew what I wanted to do, but what next? Well, the next step for me was building a prototype. So I went off and I built some prototype blocks just to prove that it was physically possible and also to show people and test them out. These days you don't have to build prototype blocks or physical prototypes. You can do it on a computer, you can do 3D generated images. There's a whole range of ways you can actually get your idea across, but you need to have some way to get your idea across to people so they know what you're talking about, know what you've got. So my next problem was sales. I thought, it's okay to have prototype blocks, but I need to find someone to sell them, because I wasn't a salesperson. That kind of wasn't what I did. I'm an inventor. So what I did was I actually spoke to a few people, and eventually, after about 12 to 18 months, I called up a gentleman called Kelvin Claney. He was a salesperson doing very well in direct response TV in America, and he was interested in my blocks. I flew across to America to see him, showed him my blocks, and he kind of really liked them, but he hadn't made a decision to commit, and I didn't kind of know what was happening for a while. And in the end he did commit, and what I found out later was that it was actually Kelvin's wife Robin who said to Kelvin, she saw the blocks and she said, "Kelvin, you've got to be in these blocks because kids will love them." She said, "I really think you're on a winner here." So it was really Robin that I've got to thank for the BetterBlocks success. But you notice again that the solutions to my problem came from outside. Like I had to build prototypes to show people outside of my idea. Kelvin and his wife Robin, they were people from outside. They actually had an input into my idea. So what I'd like you to do now is pause the video and find another 3 pieces that fit together and join them on the 2 pieces that you've got already together. Welcome back. So our puzzle's taking shape, but there's still one link that's missing, and the link is manufacturing. Now I wasn't a manufacturer. Actually, I was $100,000 in debt, so I was way beyond being able to set up a manufacturing facility. And I was talking to Kelvin about making the blocks, and Kelvin said to me, he said, "Oh, I got a friend in New Zealand, David Williams. He's got a world-class manufacturing plant. Give him a ring. He may be interested." So I gave David a ring and told him briefly what I was doing. And yeah, he was interested, and I sent him across some sketches of my blocks, all the sketches, and all I wanted him to do was to just give us a bit of feedback. Say, "Yeah, Warren, look, send us a bit more information, send us some prototypes. We're interested." And I remember, within a week, a set of proper professionally drawn plans arrived on my doorstep. Now these would have cost David about $1,000, $1,500 to do. They weren't cheap. And he said, "Warren, is this what you want?" And I went, wow, this guy did it at his own expense. I hadn't committed to anything, did it at his own expense because he wanted to be involved with BetterBlocks, because he saw the potential of it, he really loved the product. Now when we did test out the product and it was successful and we needed to manufacture, do you think David was the guy that we went to? Absolutely, absolutely. So again, that was another input into the BetterBlocks success that came from outside. So my whole point is that if you put the last piece in the puzzle, what you'll see is a light bulb. But a light bulb was defined by what's outside the light bulb. That's actually what's made it shape, and that's what made it successful. And that was very much like ideas and inventions are defined by the caliber and talent of the people that we bring in to make them successful. Like BetterBlocks was successful because they had a great team around me. BetterBlocks was a good product that was made great by the people involved. And that's what seems to be with most inventions. It's a team of people that you have around you that make them successful. And that's what will truly make your invention successful. It'll be the talented people that you can bring in just to make it bigger and better and greater than probably, I know for me it was bigger and better and greater than I could ever think of. And your invention may be too. So I'd like to thank you for listening. Thank you for taking part in the activities, and bye for now.